I had a privilege over the weekend. Someone who subscribes to me made friends with me on Facebook, and he sent me a message, which is, if you want to make friends with me on Facebook, do that. Send a message, otherwise you'll get ignored, because I get lots and lots of friend requests from people who want to take money off me for like live sex shows and the like. And it's like, I've become quite mindful of them in view of the fact that, I do on Facebook, do post quite a little bit and repost things about like movements in the community of the bravest. And so Facebook thinks I'm gay and sends me loads of gay shit in my news feed. When it's trying to recommend. These Facebook algorithms are getting terrible. I mean, they keep trying to test me. And I put out this story the other day on Facebook because it popped up from nowhere, because I keep deleting all these suggested for you. So it's like spinning round. And it got the gist that, because I've been following football and I've been making the odd comment, it's picked up like football language from me, Facebook. So he keeps sending me these football sites. I'm like, fucking hell, football speculation. It's like I could sit all day writing that. It's like, let's just say that so-and-so is interested in so-and-so. And if we we'll end up being right if we make enough predictions. And all this crap popping up, and I'm like, I can't be doing with transfer speculation. So it's like, off. And then it's going around this rolling thing, and then I get this story from the Ghanaian press. And it was about a footballer. It's like he was like a famous Ghanaian footballer who played around Europe, and he was like an older player, and he was trying to. He was actually trying to get the message across to younger players that juju doesn't help you in football. Juju. And I thought this was the fucking funniest story I'd ever read, so I'm like, hey, have a look at this. It's like, it takes experience, doesn't it, to understand that like witchcraft and voodoo don't help you in football. Actually, they're a hindrance. That's what he was saying. He was right. They're a hindrance. It's like you go and pay some fucker money to put some kind of good luck spell on you, and you lose. You're like, shit. And then you get in contact with your witch doctor, and he says, well, you see, you know why that is? Why you lost? Why is that? Because you bought a cheap spell. It's like, I've got one for 10 grand here that'll guarantee you win the fucking league. And then you take his money off him. So he's like, juju doesn't help in football. It almost had me fucking, like, I was like, you're not laughing where it's from. It tickled me, as they say. It really tickled me, that, as to where he's warning these young players. It's like, don't fall into this trap, thinking you can just buy some fucking spell off some witch doctor and it'll help you out. Although, right, in a funny old way, there was a story once where I think there was shagging involved. But once Brian Robson, with his injuries, was exposed to having been using this faith healer called Olga Stringfellow years ago, when he was desperate to get fit quick to recover from injuries. He was going seeing a faith healer. Like that's juju. Go and see a faith healer. But saying that, if you believed in it and bought into that, that would probably work. What? Yeah, it would aid you. It didn't always work for him, because he went asking for fucking miracles, Brian Robson, when he went to see that faith healer. But it's a matter of, in healing, there is a mind, body and soul element. I mean, he really, really wanted to get fit again, to play again. Had a lot riding on his life, his career. He used to go and see Olga Stringfellow, but there were rumours that he were also shagging his daughter, her daughter. But they're unsubstantiated, they were just rumours. Yeah, a bit of the old juju. Seeing more of that, having been welling from predicting that there'd be a wave of it, and it's like, right, when these guys turn up, now you're seeing a big spike, a big double down in this Pride Month of two things, right? Going after the kids, and also the two spirits have started to pop up. What? Yep. The people who give themselves an excuse for being arseholes most of the time by claiming that there is another spirit that dwells within them that may take the form of whatever they decide it is. Now, as being someone who has that understanding of God that I have, right, as to say, yeah, well, God's that spirit that's punishing you. It's like, you could have made an enemy of it, and now it's got it in for you. Like what? It's like God's like that. It's like, yeah, hippie Jesus myth created in the 1960s and 70s. What? Yeah, hippie Jesus, nah. It's like, but these people going around cracking on at the moment, they're demons. He touched on it, didn't he, in that What is a Woman documentary, which is like, that's really cleverly done. He's done a really good job, that Matt Walsh, because he just put himself in front of them and started asking questions and then let them decide when they'd had enough and walk out. You're being malignant. I don't like how you're using your words. And go, huh. No. No. I've decided you're a bigot. Willing to talk, not willing to handle any kind of criticism or even be asked to analyse the shit they've just said. It's like my way or the highway. Wow. Now, as I alluded to at the start, got to speak to a subscriber who's been watching my videos for a few years, 30-year-old lad, an Irishman from Dublin. So I got this message and he put it to me. He actually made a point to me, which was a nice thing to say. It was kind of him to say. And he's like, in his way, he's like, you should be looked after. You should be cherished as like a working class academic or else intelligences. There's not many of you actual sort of total bottom grassroots, you know, always down to your last tenner sort of poor. It's like, there ain't many of you. It's like, there ain't many people at your level of the game and you're not represented. It's like, for the demographic that's least represented, it's like, here you are. And I'm like, that was a nice thing to say. So in return, I just let on to him as to master of the crack. It's like, you know what I mean, don't you? You know about the crack, don't you? You're from Dublin. Straight away, I'm like, you know about the crack. So, sends me a response, and he's being a bit righty, and I'm looking to be just, I'm like, fuck this, ding. Give the guy a call. Boom, 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 boom. Facebook, brilliant. You can just go bang. Away, pal. Irishman, working class Irishmen, they're kind of, in some regards, my kin. I don't speak with an Irish accent, but my grandparents did. And their way of operating is was just well established. The prevalent culture in all the neighbourhoods I grew up in, a very Irish place, because there's something malignant about the culture that sort of spreads and dominates, and that be the crack. And I said to him, oh, you're master of the crack. and he know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like the craic is absolute mastery of gaslighting for the effect of getting a reaction out of people that's funny. And then the trick is, if you're the one injured or wounded by it and you get annoyed, or else you get nasty about it, you lost the game. You didn't realise you were playing a game and you lost it. And everyone laughs because those people actually in their own way love you. Excuse me. Yeah, but they'll still destroy you. So it's like you have to learn how to survive in an environment where those around you who care about you and would actually look, when push comes to shove, would be the people who looked out for you and help you. When they turn on you and be as cruel as they possibly can be in that moment for a laugh. So the trick to that game, right, is to be a master of the craic. Now, the master of the craic is able to turn the tables on that person who decides to go in that hard, to immediately change the situation on them to one that you're in control of. And then it'd be, who's funny now? I'm quicker than you, funnier than you, wittier than you. If you throw shit at me, I can throw it back twice as hard. Now, when you get good at that, right, around people who play that game, when you win, it's a matter of touche. Funny. It's like two halves of a joke come together, and you'll find it funny, they'll find it funny, because it's a test. It's combative. It's like a play fight. Nobody wants to hurt each other. Nobody wants to kill each other. But it's like in this day and age, there's less and less people who've been like indoctrinated in this game. So they get inadvertently destroyed. Just inadvertently crushed by it, having never heard the like of it. Guy walks in the door and you're like, that cunt. Or something in Dick's recently. You know. Ooh, how are you, pal? And that be the nature of our camaraderie, and but also at the same time a shit test that can lead into a bit of a crabs in a bucket situation because of the mixture of characters who play that game. Some people play that game because they just like picking on people. So it's like they're the ones who are less good at receiving, if you like. So you can smash the ball straight back past them. In this game of just endless tit for tat, verbal, psychological and emotional abuse that people do for fun because it's a laugh, right? So it's like, I'm not immune from this. I'm fully trained in the craic and all of its various sub-games are tactics and techniques. The best anti-craic game to stop getting picked on by old Irish people and the like when you were a younger guy was a union that was formed against it in a pub that I used to go in called the Bull's Head. And one of the lads invented the Awkward Club. So whenever anyone just threw bait out like that, you just go, yeah, whatever. Excuse me. What? Yeah, just blow it off. Yeah, whatever. And it's like, you're in the Awkward Club, aren't you? It's like, You bet your ass I am. Or you'd say, no, I'm not. You'd be awkward about it. And you'd come up to people and you'd swell your ranks. Do you want to join the awkward club? And they'd say, no. It's like, you're in. It's like you just passed the test. So it's like the awkward club becoming its own kind of crack, whereas becoming awkward about everything became then the thing. It's like, you couldn't just move your feet, could you? Nope. So you could then become exceptionally awkward about every little tiny demand that anyone made ever, and then that become funnier and funnier and funnier and funnier and funnier as a callback. You walk in and they say, "You're right, John," and you say, "I don't know whether I should tell you." Bang. See, this is an unspoken language of the Irish, and it's called the craic. And there's different levels of the craic. There's different tactics of the craic. There's fierce for the craic. Right? You know what fierce for the craic does? Fierce for the craic strips naked and runs through the pub at light speed and then emerges from wherever they run to fully clothed and says, "Why are you looking at me funny?" It's like, what? It's like, yes. It's like, I know the man who invented that. It's like, he was a fucking rogue, but funny. You know, funny in that, fucking hell, he's funny, but I'm glad he ain't a relative of mine. I'm glad he's not my dad. But funny. It's like, same guy once, I ended up working with him for a bit on a job, just the one job. And I was in a half a demolished stone building that had no roof on it. And the job I was doing just required like a little bit of, let's say, daring as to not have to go and get all kinds of scaffolding and things like that. Sort of like, if you could jump from one point to the next, it's like we could do this little job. And it was like go and get a hammer that had been stupidly left somewhere. Oh, it's like you could get up there easy and then we demolish the place and the fucking hammer stayed up there and it's like, oh shit, right, okay, we need to go and get our somewhere, I'll go and get hammer. So I goes to go and get this hammer and I reach for it and then, whoa. Footing went, whoa. So I'm just for a second, I've got like an arm over a stone, and beneath me, I was going to be landing on all the rubble that we'd just collected, and it's like, this is two broken legs, this is bad, and I shout, help! And as shit a spot I was in, it's like he was there in 5 seconds from like the other side of that, there on it, like, get your hand, mate, got you. And it's like, you're right, he's like, you could have got yourself up there. It's like, did you lose your bottle? It's like, so, yeah, shit my pants. This one, why? He's like, you're alright. Well done. Because he was thinking, as well, he had a decent handle. He could have pulled himself up, but I panicked because I slipped. And whoa. Rescue me ass. Same bloke, maniac. I had to arrange it that the guy whose job it was paid me because he wouldn't. And it's a matter of, where's my money? I saw you on Friday. It's like, nah, you'll go fucking pub and the bookies between now and then. I want fucking paying today. I had to arrange it to working with him that the guy who ran the job came round and paid me daily. Big cold. That's the way it works. Hello? Who's this?